Hello everybody, welcome to match 2 playing Esper Demonic Starfield, and this seems like a solid hand. We got our lands ready to go, we got a Silkwrap into a Wasteland Strangler, and a Starfield of Nyx, which I would rather be something else, but I think this is a suitable hand for just about anything we're up against. So we'll start things off by likely finding an island. So we have all of our colors, and going from there. Looks like we're up against yet another black-green sacrifice deck, most likely. Could be Seasons Past as well, but we'll find out. Alright. I'm just going to play Caves and pass. I think we have a much better matchup against the sacrifice deck than we do Seasons Past, Game 1 especially. Okay, this is the sacrifice deck, so I think I'm alright with that. Why don't we Silkwrap the Sifter, and then next turn we can process using the Wasteland Strangler and killing his follow-up. Alternatively, if he doesn't have anything that threatening, we can just play the Demonic Pact. So he sacrificed to get a Scry, and he left it on top. So effectively, he traded his whole Sifter for my Stasis Snare, or Silkwrap, excuse me. Unfortunately, now he's got a Collected Company coming. Could hold back the Stasis Snare and Anguished Unmaking, but painful as it is, I think I'm gonna play Demonic Pact instead. Try and draw some cards and find an answer, either a Languish or Flaying Tendrils, depending on what he finds. And we've always got the Wasteland Strangler also. Catacomb Sifter's not the worst. If it was an Nantuko Husk and Zulaport Cutthroat, I might be a bit more concerned. But we can also deal 4, gain 4. That'll offset a lot of his damage. Follow it up with the Strangler Mangler. Likely going to deal with the Duskwatch with one and Sifter the other. Definitely would like some untapped black sources to lessen the pain. But this is totally fine. Alright, we want to kill Liliana first so that she does not transform. And then we can play the Strangler and kill another. Probably the Duskwatch. We'll take 5. Not too bad. Does he have another creature to play and tempt us into discarding his hand? Alright, so we're going to deal 4 to Liliana, first and foremost. He does get to scry, unfortunately. Sends it to the bottom. Alright, then we could snare this to deny him the extra scry, but I think we're going to be alright not doing that. So I'm going to play the Strangler and deal with that. He might, in response, sacrifice the Scion. I'll give him another scry and give him enough mana to use the Duskwatch Recruiter, depending on what he needs. That is what he will do. So, relatively clean board. He might find something, but we've got answers to it, I think. He found a Blister Pod, so far from dangerous. And then Scries. It's on top. Alright, a bit worried about that, but we'll see what we got. At least the second Scry here is going to waste. We got 2 instant speed answers to just about anything. Enough mana to play Starfield. So what's he going to do with his 6 mana? And Tuco. That's a good start. Blister we knew about. Alright. If it's a Zulaport, I'm a bit worried. Just a Duskwatch. Alright. Then we're going to draw cards, try and find a Flaying Tendrils or something. Anything to deal with the Husk also. Right, let's draw some cards. Another Strangler. Alright. So let's think here. We got 6 mana. Or we'll have 6. So that's enough to snare 1, but he will likely sacrifice it to itself to deny us that. Yeah, I guess that's the way it goes. So we will go and do this. I want to get that thing out of here. We'll get to scry, sacrificing it, of course. You put it to the bottom. Alright. Either way, whether we play plains or a hollow, costs 4 life total to unmake something. I think we might just unmake this guy now, but then we're out of answers to our own Demonic Pact. So I might have to actually let him live and then unmake my own pact this turn. That is really regrettable because it does not give me something to process to the Strangler. And, of course, we would much rather bounce or destroy our pact rather than exile it. But at least we'll deny him the transformation. Although I'm actually going to guess he's happy about that. Oops. I must pay. I'm going to go and do it now, even though I could have made him discard his hand. If he's got to collect a company or something, it's irrelevant. But, oh, of course we draw the Angelic Purge. That's highly, highly unfortunate. Got nothing to do if he has a collected company. Hate when that happens, but I guess we're gonna purge this and then play the Strangler after. Doesn't really matter if I discard the Silkwrap or sacrifice that or the Stasis Snare. I can get either back with the Starfield. Oh, okay. If I'd known I was going to draw that, that would have gone much differently. Liliana. And Husk. Alright, Husk is problematic. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. First I'll attack him though. Could have strangled him first, but on the off chance that he traded the Sifter for my Strangler, I could have held on to it. Could also just hold on to the Shambling Vent activation. I think I'll do that. Save 1, 2, 3. Next turn I can play the Strangler and the Starfield. So he's got a Liliana in hand. He's got a Husk in hand. 3 unknowns. We could have made him discard 2 of them if we had not unmade our own Demonic Pact. But you gotta be careful when dealing with demons, and no guarantee that the next card we drew would have been an out to it. Huskin Blister Pod, that's obnoxious. He's gonna get tons of scries if he wants them now. Oh good, alright. That worked out well. Let's go ahead and animate this. It's gonna cost us a bit of life, but it'll cost him an activation off of the Husk, unless we block the Sifter actually. I was thinking about blocking the Scion. That would give him a scry and deny us the life gain. We'd go to 9. Alternatively, I could just block the Sifter. I'm gonna just do that. That gives us more life to work with. Not scry just yet, but he could very well soon. Alright, so we want to get the Starfield in so that next turn we can recur a Silkwrap. So definitely playing that, and then I think we're also going to strangle something. Probably the Sifter. Have him sacrifice stuff to the Husk now. What are we giving him back? Another Duskwatch. That's fine. Oh, so I guess he doesn't have the chance to react then. If he had sacrificed it preemptively for whatever reason, there's no reason to. If he had sacked the Scions and whatnot, he could have gotten his scries in. But, oopsies. Once I have paid the price of processing a card, then it is too late to react and sacrifice to the husk or something. So if he had sacrificed it earlier, then I wouldn't have had to remove a card, and my other Strangler would still be alive. Did he forget that he no longer has a scry machine in there? Ooh, no, a collected company. Okay. That's rough. Depends on what he finds, though. Cutthroat's bad, and the Sifter's bad. Alright, that was unfortunate for us. So we gotta survive this turn and then Silkwrap the husk. Hope that's enough. If he attacks, I'd probably double block. Force him to sacrifice the Scion and Sifter or something. Depends on what he plays. Ugh, the Westvale Abbey. We do have the Silkwrap, so I'm actually happy if he, oh no, I'm dead, because he's gonna trigger 5 times off the Cutthroat, so that was a very unfortunate sequence of draws on his part for us. Very fortunate for him, though. He sacrifices the Scion, we go to 10, hits us for 9, while sacrificing everything else. That should be more than sufficient. So it'll be on to game 2 in a moment. What? That doesn't make sense. Could have paid 5 and sacrificed. That's 5 pings off of the Cutthroat at least. And then swung for 9. Why didn't he? Might be okay here, actually. We'll double block. And sincerely hope that we find a Flaying Tendrils or a Languish. Still taking some damage this turn. I think our opponent already had the win, though, with the Westvale Abbey. Here comes Liliana. She's going to make us discard our Strangler or return a non-legendary. There's no more of those things. Cutthroats in the graveyard. Alright, let's see what we find. Definitely gonna Silkwrap the husk. Should bring back a Sifter. Definitely does not seem like the optimal solution. Okay, so let's bring back Silkwrap. And we could scoop up the husk or the Cutthroat. Let's go with the husk. Force him to sacrifice however many he's going to sacrifice now. And of course itself. Just itself, okay. So, what are we hoping to draw? Putting his cards on the bottom. Swamp, not what we wanted. So we can't actually destroy his Cutthroat. Finds any creature that he can cast and then sacrifice to the Abbey. Then we're in big trouble. But the fight goes on. So let's play this as a blocker. And unfortunately we cannot destroy the Cutthroat. I think actually we got another turn. He's going to use this one to, if he wishes, make a token. Turn after that he can kill us dead with Ormondal. Yeah, we still have a turn. Come on, command. Ooh, okay. So if he goes for it, we can just bounce Ormondal. That's something. He will do quite a bit of damage though with the Cutthroat pinging us rapidly. Oh, I see what it was, I guess. The Abbey, being a land, he played it that turn, and he could activate it, but Ormondal would have Summoning Sickness. That's interesting. So you can immediately summon... Oh, never mind, he's got haste, so yeah. That definitely could have been killed earlier. It's very curious. Not saying we're not going to be killed now, but if he goes for it, sacrifices everything, he gets a lot of scries, but he's left with nothing, really. Oh, the Cutthroat. Yikes. Okay, well, we gotta act now. I guess by bouncing the Abbey and killing the Cutthroat. Is that our only chance? He still kills us, I believe. Let's see, he already played a land. He did not. So we have to bounce a creature and kill the Cutthroat. So let's think. If we were to bounce, we also bounce the Stasis Snare, kill the Cutthroat, and I have enough land to still cast the Snare. I guess that's it. That's the answer. It's not a very pretty one, but we're a bit desperate as it is. So we're going to go to 7. He's going to get to scry. He's going to have another Cutthroat in play. If he sacrifices them all, we're still alive, and we can snare the Ormondal. And then start gaining life steadily with Shambling Vent. He does have a Quagmire as well. Scries to the bottom. And the top. It's not bode well for us. If he sacrifices all 5, bounces token, and we're in okay shape. That's not what he'll do, though. He's just going to attack us. I think we have to block one and unfortunately snare the other. Just to protect our life total. And we find a land. So that's not going to be enough. We still have the activation on our Shambling Vent, but I don't know. Might just be dead. Whatever he's got coming next turn. If it's a good old Nantuko Husk, another Cutthroat, alright. That's no bueno. He just sacks them to the Abbey and we are dead. Regrettably. Alright, so we're going to be on to game 2. What do we bring in that case? We found a Silumgar's command next turn, unfortunately. Alright, so let's think. Collected Company makes you want to bring in the counters. Definitely a Descend upon the Sinful. I don't really think Virulent Plague is, between the Eldrazi tokens, does shut down Ormondal somewhat. Might make room for that. And then the counters, so 6-ish cards. We can take out a land, a Concoction, the Disperse, and an Unmaking. And then maybe a Pact, since we're taking out some of our answers to it. And the Sorin. And let's look at that quickly. Maybe we don't necessarily need both negates. Truly just the Dispels might be enough. And the Silumgar's commands, of course. So if we took out a negate, we could bring back maybe an Unmaking or a Sorin or even a Bloodcurse Knight or something to have some steady life gain later. I'm just going to leave in the Sorin, I think. Might be a bit greedy, but I think that he's just so good in the matchup that we can justify it. Alright, not a great hand, but hopefully with the Oath of Jace we can make it one. Even though I really want white mana for Silkwraps and whatnot, I'm going to go ahead and find blue since it's rarer. And there's a Shambling Vent, so not the worst. Next turn we can Oath, get rid of these extra swamps, and find something, some action hopefully. Not under much pressure, so that's good. Alright, I like this. Plague and Unmaking, and do want to hold on to one of these swamps, I would think. We do want to get to casting Silumgar's command. So I think I might just actually get rid of I know if I get rid of the Plague I might regret it later. I'm going to get rid of the Anguished Unmaking. Don't know if it's right or wrong, but we've already got the 2 instant speed answers that are actually able to deal with man lands and whatnot, so also at the much less painful price of 0 life rather than 3. So I'm going to hang on to that. I wanted to keep 1 land. I want to keep the Virulent Plague. We got a couple plays still, and not under much pressure. And there's the caves, so we can at least cast our snares now. I'll go ahead and get this down. Could have held up the vent, but this at least will deter him from playing, I don't know, Catacomb Sifters. Get a lot worse. Okay. So 3, you could play a Sifter here and look at the Scry. Or not. Does not get the Scry. Okay. Because it just instantaneously dies, I suppose. Now I can hold up Stasis Snares and the Strangler, but since he missed a land, or 2 actually, and he's got the, or just 1, he's got the rights out. I want to get rid of as many of these as I can, so I'm going to actually Silkwrap. Can take care of, it doesn't really matter. I don't think I've seen any reanimation in these deck lists, so grab that one and strangle the other. Keep his board light. We've got command. If we find a pact, I'd like to save it for that. If he's got Ormondal, we are somewhat safe behind our snares. And I guess it's a collected company coming, so once again, if you got it and your opponent has the chance to counter it, don't give them the chance, because this is going to be embarrassing. That's what he does. Looks like it is. So collect a company, I will counter it and kill the Visionary, or bounce the rights, or bounce the Oath of Jace, honestly. we got something that can kill him, that's for sure. I would like to draw cards, but our hand's pretty good, so I'm just going to go ahead and counter and kill. So I guess what's better, to play around Languish by not main phasing your collect company, or play around counters and do it while your opponent's tapped out? Duskwatch. Nothing more. We gotta descend upon the Sinful. So we could attack. That would let him transform. Don't really want to do that. So, I mean, attack with the Shambling Vent. I'll attack with this and snare, once it's obvious that he's not going to block me. If we find a Starfield of Nyx now, we could suddenly animate all of our enchantments and start bashing him over the head. But looks like it's just going to be, oh, he's going to take our Stasis Snare, most likely. He's not really in a position to be descended upon, but that's what he takes. I can live with that. Ooh, I should have attacked with the vent. I don't think it'll make much of a difference, but it's quite possible that every bit counts. So, could play the Hollow here. Not really much of a reason to, unless I find, yeah, there's not even really much of a reason to. was going to say if there's some way I could have animated the vent and still had enough mana to cast Stasis Snare, but I'll be too short on white mana for that. Can at least hold on to this and discard it to a, whatchamacallit, Oath of Jace. So just a Sifter. He gets nothing. And I'll go ahead and fire another off. We just win outright if we find a Starfield. I'll play the Prairie Stream. Painlessly now I can activate. Start hitting for 5. So yeah, if we had attacked the last turn, wouldn't have been able to snare him just now. So I guess it comes out to the same number of turns to kill him. Draws a card, maybe plays a land. Soon he's gonna have to start activating these Quagmires. Alright, win the game if we find a Starfield. Languish, not so much. Alright. I think I'm okay to activate. Attack with both. He can trade one for either. He double blocks the Shambling Vent. He wants to cast something next turn. That could be bad for us with his 6 mana. Perhaps I should have Languished instead. I guess it remains to be seen. He's going to get more mana now once he transforms. Without tokens, though, without the Catacomb Sifters giving him multiple creatures to sacrifice to a Nantuko Husk with the, what are those called? Blood Cutthroats, Zulaport Cutthroats. Blood Artists, I almost called them. I don't think he can kill us out of nowhere. You have to give haste to a Nantuko Husk somehow. Certainly drain us a lot, though. Husk makes things annoying. Scepter does not. I think we might be okay. Just Languish and we'll gain life, but we'll see what happens. Could Stasis Snare the Cutthroat and then Languish also. And then try and win next turn with the Vent. He still has 4 mana up though. That could be another Collected Company. Okay. Flaying Tendrils wouldn't be too bad. He's definitely gonna transform back his Duskwatch Recruiter. Oh, Husk. Damn. Alright, we're gonna have to snare the Husk, I guess. And then Languish, perhaps. Let him do his thing. If only we had another white mana, we could have snared the Cutthroat. But we'll see if it makes a difference. One card left. That's all. Alright. Ooh, Flaying Tendrils. Alright. So with that, I think I can attack him with the Strangler first. Let him block with the Husk and sacrifice Visionary to it or something. It doesn't matter, I guess. It's just gonna die anyway to the Tendrils. Let him do his scrying without knowing what I'm about to do. You put a card on top, so anything that dies now I don't really care about. Alright, so we're gonna take another 3. You could pump this up to 10-10. Still survive, so we're gonna have to snare it. And then, unbeknownst to him, we could Languish or Tendrils. He's keeping something on top, which concerns me if it's a Westvale Abbey or something. So, if we Tendrils, he's gonna sacrifice the Cutthroat and the recruiter. What to do? Could snare the husk. See what he does. And then languish the remainder, I guess. Doesn't feel like a great place to be, but we'll see what happens. Still looking for a Starfield or something. He just sacrifices the 1. And then we could Tendrils and still hold up the Languish. I think I like that best. It leaves him with the Sifter, but takes out the others. Keeps his board light, and then if he commits more to it, we have a Languish. Gotta think it's a collected company or something. This game's going on for a bit. Animating the Quagmires, it's not so bad. Alright, come on, Starfield. Nope. Alright, let's go ahead and activate. Strike back. Alright. And the Sifter to Languish. Holy scries. We'll just take 2, so we'll be at 11 life, and then we'll Languish. Lose another 3, we'll be at 8, and be staring down 2 Quagmires with our manland. It's unfortunate. Alright, so if we Languish, I think I have to do that now. I still have enough to activate the vent. Gets plenty of scries, that's for sure. Just gonna go ahead and activate this and let him do his thing. Even though that gives him a bit more information, I suppose. Don't think it makes much of a difference at this point. Bottom, 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 and top. It's gonna be a close game. Once again, if we find a Starfield, we will be pummeling him with Stasis Snares and Plagues and an Oath or 2. It's passed right away to a collected company, most likely. So I guess we wait. We're on defense now. Unfortunate. It's used only 1 husk and 1 or 2 cutthroats. Yeah. There's the other husk and a blister pod. Unfortunate for us. Gonna have to chump block this husk for a bit, looks like. But once again, looking for that Starfield. Could make all the difference. Oh, that's no good. Pass my turn. We're not dead, at least. The most he can... if he goes for it all, we would die, but the chance that I have a bounce spell or something, that's no good. Oh, because of the token dying, he doesn't get to sacrifice to the plague. So, in that case, the most he can do would be 8. And there's the Abbey, which is largely irrelevant. Come on, something good. More land is not that good. I think we just gotta wait it out then. Try and find something to deal with the husk. Because we could attack with both, he would just trade him off to the Quagmires. I think we gotta wait. He doesn't realize that the plague is in play. He remembered. So 12 lands in play, or 13 lands rather, in play or in the graveyard, which means less than a third of our deck is still land. Alright, he's tagging with just one, so he's going to have to activate the both of them and sacrifice both to the husk. I think it's better to just chump block one by one. I think that buys us the most time. The same thing, sacrificing lands to them, and this just gives us more draw steps. Attack more. Alright, come on, Sorin or something. Silkwrap, okay. Still not the best, but let's go ahead and activate this. Will likely activate his Quagmire. Event that he draws something like a Blister Pod or Visionary into a string of them, or Cutthroat. I want to get rid of this husk now, so off it goes. Sacrifices it to itself. And now we wait. Who top decks something first? Good thing we brought on the Plague. As an answer to the Westphale. He's gonna peck at us with a 1/1. Find a Sorin or something. Just more lands. Regrettable. And a husk. Also regrettable. But not too bad. Got a couple turns still. Starfield and win. Please. Anything besides a land. Sorin. Will that do it? We could just plus and find something that kills him. We're gonna go for that. Oh, Nemesis has arrived. Find a Starfield would be poetic. And Angelic Purge. That'll be sufficient. We'll purge the husk. And I will sacrifice my... Actually, now that I have a Planeswalker out, the Oath of Jace lets me scry, so that's nifty. I just think these are both dead Silkwraps. Those would be the first to go. So we can win even without a Demonic Pact. It's funny that the three of them, and he's going to scoop it. So next turn we would have scryed a Dispel to the bottom most likely, and then found a Silumgar's Command, and then plussed Sorin to find a Negate and vanquish our foe. Alright, that game ran quite long, so let's think. For defense, definitely going to keep in the Tendrils. That neuters Ormondal's Westvale Abbey quite a bit. Take out the Negate, I think. And what else? Starfield maybe on the draw is a bit too slow. And Sorin. Take out the Sorin. And I will pause the video and be back for game 3 in just a moment. Stay tuned.